This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide. A warehouse where a parchment lampshade, an automobile tire, a canvas tarpaulin, an umbrella, all are touched by murder. Here's a dictionary. It's a familiar object. French into English, English into French. Every high school student knows what these books are like. Word here, phrase there, merci, thank you, merci. And of course, a use common to most young men in countries not their own.
Je t'aime. Je t'aime.
Oh, you sound so passionate, Jules. What does that mean?
In the little book, one moment, je t'aime, I love you.
Well, today the dictionary can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Here we are in the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Not a great present for us, but it's interesting. And here lies death. The people who conceived this place must have wished to raise a memorial for death. And here, collected under one roof, are the mementos of the murder from over 100 years. These are darts, a feathered dart, made for pleasure, for laughter and friendly terror. This tiny metal tip was dipped in cyanide. A twist of a wrist, flick of an elbow. The dartboard missed. Spectator was scratched. It was an accident. An accident? No, it was murder. Here we are, the dictionary. You want the English for a French word? Here it is, or the French for a word in English. It's here also. Nice idea. All in one book. Great convenience. Particularly for Jules Gamache, who had a bit of trouble expressing himself to Betty Brown on the beach in southern France. One warm and sunny afternoon.
Je t'aime.
Oh, you sound so passionate, Jules. What's that mean?
In the little book, one moment, je t'aime, oui, I love you.
Right, Jules. And me, a married woman?
It was. Love out of the dictionary in the summer in southern France. Of course, this was in 1923. That date's important simply because radio and broadcasting were just beginning. And Jules Gamache was something of an electrical engineer. In fact, he was the only man in the little French seaside town who was able to bring music out of the air.
Luc Gallen, how you say in anglais? De cat's whisker. So. Maintenant, ma chérie, écoutez.
Oh, Jules. But there really is music in these funny rubber earmuffs.
Huh?
Why, Jules, well, you are bright, aren't you?
I love you. I must have you now, today. Parbleu, always.
Oh, Jules.
A clever Frenchman who knew his way about with women. An Englishwoman vacationing in France. Why was she there?
Oh, Jules, if I were a better manager, if we'd be better with the end, I'd never have had the breakdown. I'd never have come to France, and I'd never have met you and your wildest pet.
Oh, so that was it. But all such items come to an end someday. And summer comes to an end. At least that's the correct calculation. That's the way Betty calculated. Without thinking of her, Jules.
Jules?
Oui, ma chérie?
I have to go home.
Oui. Je viens. I come also.
Oh, Jules, That's impossible.
However, the usual sighs and protestations, of course. It was just a brief interlude that he was a trifle saddened to let it go. After all, when a woman is crowding 40... She went home anyway to Sussex, to the Binnacle Inn, to security of sorts, and to her husband, Al.
Business hasn't been too bad while you were away, Bessie. All the rooms were let this week, and the bar trade was fine.
I dare say you did all right by the bar.
The landlord's got to be social, girl. Otherwise his customers go somewhere else.
There's a difference, Alf, between social and drunk.
Here, now, none of that. I take a drop now and then, but I don't get drunk. Well, another customer. Business is picking up, and on the hotel side at that.
Oh.
How can I help you, sir?
I have, how you say, one moment, please. I will find the word. Oui, I have come to stay.
What do you know? A froggy. Pleased to have you, monsieur. And may I ask how you found this?
Monsieur Brown, the merveilleuse Madame Brown is the recommendation for your so select hotel. Is it not so that we have met in Provence, Madame?
The little Frenchman must have been mad. Mad with love. Or just a little touched in the head. In any case, he'd come just as he said, to stay. As he explained it to Al Brown.
I am, how you say, an inventor. I have much great ideas.
Yes, sure, Gamma, sure. But do you make any money?
To make money? Je ne comprends pas.
Money, shillings, francs.
Ah, oui, beaucoup d'argent. Oh, right now I wait from Canada. Much money.
And what do you invent to get all this beaucoup money?
The wireless. I am in the wireless, very much interested.
Well, monsieur, if you can get music out of the air, maybe you can get some money out of the same place to pay what you owe us.
Huh?
You've been here a month now, and we haven't seen a shilling on your board bill.
Board bill? Comment?
There was another conversation shortly thereafter on the same subject, if not exactly on the same light level.
Look, Betty, he's your friend. We've got to have some money.
How can I ask him for money, even if he is our friend?
Yours, not mine. He doesn't take walks with me every afternoon.
Alf Brown, are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting, dearie. I'm telling you. Get some money out of him or out he goes. You're supposed to be the business head in this family. All right. Tend to business here.
Well, you never talked to me like this before.
It was the first time for everything, they say. For the first time, Al was in the driver's seat, and he knew it. So did Betty know it. On one of their afternoon walks, she said as much to Jules.
Jules?
Oui, ma chérie?
I suspect.
He will do nothing, jamais.
He's after me
Huh?
to get money from you. What are you laughing at? I'm telling you, his Alf will be real nasty. And he throw us both out. And you without a penny. Well, it's not funny. He holds the whip hand. Don't you understand?
Oui, one moment.
Oh, Jules. Not that little book again.
Oui, certainement, le petit livre. Ici, I have it. Like an Englishman, so... one may steal his wife, but not owe to him money.
Jules was self-confident, to say the least. He behaved as if he had a plan. He said to Al,
Never fear, mon ami. In a few days, beaucoup d'argent. You like? Oui?
to Betty, he said,
Je t'aime, ma chérie. Do not fear. All will be well.
A quiet, dull New Year's morning. The routine of the inn continued, minus the overtired, oversleeping maid. After a while, the master came grumbling down the stairs.
Bessie, Bessie, where are you?
Ah, me. I think Mr. Gamache is dead.
Well, let him go to his room, then.
Pardon, monsieur? Into my chambre you wish for me to go? Oui?
Oh, no need for that. In or out?
Oh, so long as he's awake, I don't care, one way or another. Where's my salt? You know I can't start a day without Miss Salt.
I know, dear. They're where you'd expect them to be, on the mantel shelf, in their regular place.
Oh, yes, I forgot. If I may disturb you, monsieur.
Oh, but of course. The chair before the fire. Very nice, oui? Très charmant. When it is so very cold outside.
Oh, thanks. Bessie, that glass is here. Where's a tablespoon and some water?
Oh, I'll get them for you. Just a moment, dear.
Jules Gamache stood in the bay window and watched the little domestic scene. Occasionally he riffled through his ever-present dictionary as if for a word to describe the events he was watching. Such inconsequential little events. Betty came trotting back from the kitchen with a tablespoon and a pitcher of water. She put them on the table alongside the salt and glass. Hal measured his own dosage, poured it into the glass. Then he poured in the water. Almost mockingly, he raised his glass as if in a toast. The Frenchman standing nearby. Then down the contents of the glass.
Oh, those salts taste bitter this morning?
Yeah, they are never sweet, no?
Nothing sweet about them.
Then why complain, dear? You had more to drink than usual last night, so the salts taste more bitter than usual.
1 hour later.
Betty, get some help. Oh, it's the cramps. Oh, I can't stand it. It's awful.
Oh, Joe, get the doctor. Call the cook. Do something.
I will try. My English, it is not good, no, but I will try.
Oh, my feet, they ache. Oh, they're driving me crazy. The pain, and the itching. Oh.
Shortly thereafter, Alfie Brown was quite dead. And so the tragedy reached its climax. And playing its little part in that tragedy was a certain dictionary, which, as I told you, can be seen today in the Black Museum. Dr. Westcott, the local physician, was called at once, but far too late. Alf Brown was past help. The doctor listened gravely to the story as Betty told it to him, while Jules stood by, the very picture of solicitude.
Oh, we went so quick, Doctor. And in such agony. Cramps, groans, and he said the strangest thing.
What was that, Mrs. Brown?
Well, he cried out with his feet were itching. It was almost the last thing he said.
Is that right, Mr. Gamache?
Oui, monsieur le docteur, ça avait raison.
Huh? Well, if you say so, it's an interesting symptom. Peculiar one, particular poison. Though how this household will come by it, I haven't the slightest idea.
Poison? But, Doctor, it was his sauce. Although he did complain that they tasted more bitter than usual.
Anything else, Mrs. Brown?
No, nothing else. Oh, I'm so upset. Confused. But what poison? How?
Itching feet, bitter taste, great pain, or do they all point to strychnine? But of course we won't be able to know for certain until there's been a post-mortem.
Oh, Doctor, Why?
Well, I can't sign a certificate under these circumstances. I have to notify the coroner and the police.
Oh.
Now, I think our next precaution is for you to give me the bottle, the spoon, and the glass into my charge. Where are they?
Oh, well, I don't quite... Mr. Gamache, do you remember?
Je ne sais pas, madame. Je ne comprends pas.
Oh, come, Mrs. Brown. Now, pull yourself together. You want to catch the party who poisoned your husband, don't you?
Perhaps that was a better question than Dr. Westcott realized. It was pure rhetoric at that moment, as far as he was concerned. Of course, the widow wanted to catch the murderer. Still took a bit of concentrated prodding of Betty's memory until she said,
I know now, Doctor. I put them in the drawer of the kitchen table when I left Alfred for a moment to fetch some tea and soda. I thought it might help.
They found the bottle and the glass and the spoon in the kitchen table drawer. The doctor looked at them closely.
Someone's washed these thoroughly. There are still traces of water in the bottle and the glass. Mrs. Brown, I'm going to the police at once.
And Dr. Westcott went to the local police. The local police went to Scotland Yard. Betty Brown went to Jules Gamache.
You did it, Jules. I don't know how, but you did it.
Moi? Ma chérie, ma foi, impossible.
You did. You killed Alfred, and you stayed right there and watched him die.
Betty, you are most... how is it? Oui, you are most hysterical. You know I do not kill your Alfie. You must know this.
I know. I feel it in my bones. You killed him. Go away, Jules. Go away. I never want to see you again as long as I live.
Sadly, as if overwhelmed by the unpredictability of women, Jules Gamache packed his things and left the Binnacle Inn. But he didn't go far. Just to the next village and the next inn, where he waited and watched. Waited to hear from his beloved, now widowed, his Betty. Waited for developments in the case which the coroner's jury had labeled death at the hands of person or persons unknown. The developments were not long in coming.
My name is West, Mrs. Brown, Inspector West, Scotland Yard. My credentials.
Yes, sir.
I have a few questions, particularly concerning the disposal of the poison.
I'll try to answer them, Inspector.
Do you know who washed out the bottle and glass?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I left them in the kitchen. We were all so upset by poor Alfie's suffering. We were rather hysterical, I'm afraid.
I understand. No idea on that. I see. Tell me, Mrs. Brown, have you ever used any kind of weed killer in the garden of this inn?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
Poison for rodents, rats, mice, and so on?
No, sir. We've never been troubled by such.
Have you any idea who might have wanted to kill your husband, Mrs. Brown?
No, I haven't.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Brown. If I could...
The inspector left the front of the house, so to speak, and visited below stairs. He had a nice talk with the cook over a cup of tea.
Mrs. Davis, did you wash out the salts bottle?
No, why should I? I've got enough work. And that was New Year's Day. The maid didn't come in. I had to clean up, too. Pity, not much of a New Year in this house.
Did you notice the bottle at all?
Well, I remember saying to Mrs. Brown that there wasn't much more than a tablespoon left in it. And perhaps she better order another bottle in case Mr. Brown was getting mad if he had none.
Now, this is important, Mrs. Davis. Can you place anyone at all, in this kitchen between the time Mrs. Brown brought the bottle in here and the time Dr. Westcott took it away?
No one but the Frenchman, sir.
Mr. Gamache.
I seem to remember, sir. I wouldn't want to get him in no trouble unless he deserved it. But he did come in here and jabber at me. And then he used his little book.
Little book?
He's got a dictionary. Looks up the French and finds the English. Right comical he is sometimes.
I see. Then he looked in his dictionary.
And he said bottle. He said something else. I didn't pay much attention. I just pointed at the kitchen drawer.
Did he take the bottle out of the drawer?
I wouldn't know, sir. For all I know, he just wanted to be sure it was in a safe place. I heard him open and close the drawer, that was all. Then he went out.
Did he have a chance to put it back?
Lots of chances. I was that busy running in and out.
That's too bad. Oh, excellent tea, Mr. Davis.
The inspector was never a man to accept loose ends. He ran all his leads to earth. This is the approach which brought him finally to where Jules Gamache was staying.
Do you accuse me, Inspector?
Merely asking routine questions, Mr. Gamache. Did you have any reason to dislike or resent Mr. Brown?
None. No, but of course not.
Have you ever had any strychnine in your possession?
No, but pourquoi? Why should I?
I can't say, sir. I can only try to fill in the blank spaces. Someone, you see, gave Mr. Brown the opportunity to poison himself. That kind of gift is murder, Mr. Gamache.
Naturellement.
I'm afraid I must ask you to remain in England, sir, until the case is closed.
But for me, this will be a pleasure. I assure you, Inspector, I wish to see vengeance on this murderer. I loved Mr. Brown, almost as a brother.
So there it was, a smooth, blank wall for Scotland Yard to face and search for some crack somewhere. The interest in the case simmered down. Nothing was happening. Then the newspapers picked up a lead, something so fantastic the men assigned to watch the Binnacle Inn and its neighborhood hardly believed their own ears. It seems that Jules Gamache began to write letters. And to the police.
There is one suspect who has not been questioned. A man long subject to Alfred Brown's whims and temper. The pot washer at the inn, known to me only as Georges. I point the finger of suspicion. Observe, gentlemen of Scotland Yard, the comings and goings of Monsieur Arthur Brookfield, solicitor to Madame Brown. This man is in and out of her residence at all hours. Certainly not all of this can be on business.
Was jealousy entering the picture now? The letters aroused a good deal of attention once they leaked to the newspapers, as such things have a way of doing. Jules Gamache was quite pleased when the reporters swarmed about him and the photographers took his picture. Many times, in many poses. This was fame, at last, for an impoverished inventor living on his wits.
Come in, sir. You asked to see me on the Brown case.
Yes, sir. My name is Scott, sir. I'm the owner of a chemist's shop in Woking.
Not too far from the Binnacle Inn, is it?
Just far enough to miss some of the news, but this morning I saw this newspaper.
Ah, yes, our French friend. Do you know him?
He was a customer of mine a few weeks back, just before Christmas.
Go on, Mr. Scott.
He asked for strychnine.
Oh, what excuse did he give?
Oh, something about experiments in the wireless. He kept consulting a small English-French dictionary to express himself.
The wireless, yes, that's the new excuse. Although why they should think the wireless operations entail the use of poisons is beyond me. Did you sell him any?
I did. I made him sign the poison book. The name he used was Hatch.
Mr. Scott, do you think you can identify this man among a dozen others? Well, Mr. Scott?
That's he, sir. The short fellow with the bright black eyes.
Thank you, mister.
Monsieur le chemiste. Bonjour, c'est un plaisir. How you say, one moment, please. Oui, ici. It is a pleasure that we meet again.
Jules Gamache, I have a warrant for your arrest on a charge of willful murder. I must warn you that anything you may say...
Well, that's the story. And today, the dictionary which played its part in that story can be found in its place in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
Truly a strange, impassioned little man, that Jules Gamache. He's half crazy, half sane. You wonder about him. And you know, to add to the dilemma of his personality, is one last point. While Jules was awaiting execution, he wrote another letter to Inspector West, stating that shortly after the death of Al Brown, he, Jules, saw a woman. Whether the woman was the cook or his beloved Betty, he didn't know. secrete something behind some loose bricks in the garden wall at the Binnacle Inn. Of course, the police investigated. They found 2 small jugs, one with crystalline strychnine in it, and the other with a solution of the same poison. Now, the question is, did Jules Gamache put those jugs there himself, or did one of the women? And if the latter, why did Gamache wait until just before his death to reveal this? Was it some odd form of gallantry? Well, I guess no one will ever know. And now until next time, till we meet in the same place and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, I remain, as always, obediently yours.
This is WDCB-FM, Glenallen.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicides, where everyday object, a magazine, a cigarette lighter, a student's lamp, a paperweight, all are touched by murder. Here's a letter. It's a familiar object, handwritten on a good bond paper. No imprint on the top, merely a date. A simple single initial for the signature.
Do you notice the same thing about this letter that I do, sir?
Rather a well-formed handwriting.
More than that. This letter was written by an educated person. A very well-educated person. But for what a purpose?
Well, today, that letter can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
And here we are, the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Yes, interred in this place are countless memories represented by the objects on the show in these cabinets. Memories of terror, horror, and the night, of the ultimate cruelty between man and man, the killing of one human being by another. Yes, here lies death. In serried, endless ranks, pitiful instruments, not only guns and knives and poisons and the cords of the garroters, but the simple things, spoons and cups and even, yes, here, for instance, is a baby's pacifier, complete with the ivory ring. Horrible. It was dropped in a bedroom. It led to a woman who was a nurse. Dropped in a bedroom. It took that woman up the 13 steps to a hangman's noose. Here's the letter. The letter I told you about. The letter of today's story. This one begins innocently enough in a bank. As a man steps to a teller's window.
Will you cash this for me, please? Do nothing, sir. I have an account here. You can check the signature. Yes, sir. That'll take just a moment.
So normal, so much in the ordinary course of daily business. The cashier goes to the files, compares the signature on the check with that on file, returns to his wicket.
Everything seems to be in order, sir. How do you wish the money? 2 5s, the rest in £1 notes. Very well. There you are, sir. It's your account.
The customer counts the bills, nods that they come to the proper amount, and walks away out of the bank. A week or so later, in the office of the manager of that bank.
Of course, we understand how you feel, Mr. Holt. The cashier in question will be here in just a moment.
One would expect a bank to protect a depositor with more care. 3 forged checks, each one successively larger.
Apparently, the forger felt himself safer each time.
Apparently. If I hadn't requested my statement and the vouchers ahead of time this month, this might have gone on almost indefinitely.
Mr. Holt drums his fingers angrily on the manager's desk. Both men sit silently, awaiting the arrival of the cashier.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Hollingsworth. Your initials are on these 3 vouchers. Do you remember the man who cashed these?
Yes, sir. Quiet sort.
Very dark. Seemed on the tallish side.
Nothing at all like the gentleman sitting here.
Oh, not at all.
Ah, I see. Well, this gentleman is Mr. Holt.
But I compared the signatures, sir. Our usual routine. Is this a case for the police? Sir?
It certainly is. And I intend to see to it that the police find the perpetrator of this forgery.
Forgery. And apparently quite a clever job of it. After all, the cashier did compare the signatures, and the cashier was honest. No question about that. What then did Scotland Yard have to say about it?
May I ask, Mr. Holt, if you've written any letters recently to anyone you don't know?
I'm a solicitor, Inspector. I have a great deal of correspondence.
Of course. Let me ask you something else. Have you made any debt collections within, say, the past 6 weeks?
Well, now, let me think. Yes, there was that Mr. Arthur. He'd had a bit of a difficulty with Mr. Harris. Asked me to write a letter. A lawyer's letter, you understand, Inspector.
Yes, of course. Go on, sir.
I wrote the letter. Mr. Harris paid his debt at once. About £50 it was. I deducted the usual fee and remitted the balance to Mr. Arthur, that was all.
But you signed the letter yourself, of course. It's not a new trick, but it's been used quite often lately.
I really don't follow, Inspector.
That's how the forger obtained your signature to trace our copy.
What? But that's...
Quite simple, yes. And the chances are that neither your Mr. Arthur, whom you saw, nor Mr. Harris, whom you did not see, neither one of them was the forger, as we've come to call him.
Then you had similar cases?
Many of them.
And no trace of the culprit?
Never a trace, nor any link. He knows what he's doing, this fellow.
Clever, in a diabolical sort of way.
Clever, in a diabolical sort of way. Well, you can fight this sort of cleverness with only two weapons. Patience and vigilance. Sergeant Berkey of the Yard was both patient and vigilant. Stationed in a bank as one of the searchers for the forger. The sergeant heard...
Will you cash this, please? The name is Forsyth.
Beg pardon. Aren't you James Olsey?
My name is Forsyth.
Sorry, I saw you identified in the Mason case. Your name is Olsey. I'll have to ask you to come with me.
The sergeant took Mr. Halsey to the yard. There, Inspector Dodson proceeded to the questioning.
You, that check was a forgery, didn't you, Halsey?
No, sir, I didn't.
I see. You were just doing a busy man a favor, running to the bank to cash a check for him.
That's it. Exactly right, Inspector. He promised me £500. He did for me trouble.
I can hardly believe that. You, with your record, trusted like that?
Some folks trust me.
No doubt. Any questions, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Look here, Olsey. Where were you supposed to deliver the money?
Carter and Company Limited, Queensbury Building, to Mr. Forsyth. Same name as was on that check. That's all I know. Except I'm out £500 and in trouble besides.
No use, Sergeant. There'll be no Forsyth at Carter and Company. Let this fellow go. He's telling the truth for once. The man we want is the forger.
Another blank. No link to the man whose mind was planning all this cleverness. Of course, they did learn one more fact about his operation.
Just before we close the file, I think we might check up and see if we can learn anything from the real Mr. Forsyth.
Yes?
Oh, I'm a police officer. My credentials, ma'am.
Oh, I expect you want to be my husband.
Well, if you please, ma'am, we're making a few inquiries.
Yes, come in.
Thank you.
We've had nothing but visits from the police ever since this forgery business. As if it wasn't bad enough already with the burglary last month and all that.
What was that? A burglary, did you say, ma'am?
That's right. There's a policeman for you there.
Oh, good evening. What can I do to help you?
Well, I think your wife has already supplied the answer to the question I was going to ask you, Mr. Forsyth. I understand you had a burglary last month.
That's right, but there was nothing much stolen, just a few trinkets, nothing valuable.
Oh, anything else?
Why, yes. Don't you remember, dear? They took your checkbook.
Oh, yes. Rather silly things, too.
No, sir. Not so silly as you'd think. Well, here are the particulars, sir.
Thank you. Have you compared them with the information we have already on the forgery case?
Yes, sir. The check that Halsey tried to cash came from the stolen book.
Who was this forger? This mind which covered all trails to itself? Somewhere, somehow, the correct thread which would lead to the center of his web must be picked up somewhere.
I believe some money has been placed on my credit here from my bank in London. The name is Harrison, Charles Harrison.
I'll see Mr. Harrison. Just a moment, please.
You know how this is done, of course. You deposit money in one bank in, say, London. Notice the draft is sent at the depositor's request to a branch of the same bank in another city. You arrive in that city, identify yourself, and receive your money. Usually it's a fair amount, too large to travel with.
How much is this draft of yours, sir?
£250.
The amount's correct. It was deposited in our London office by Mr. Harris Thompson.
That's right.
With instructions to pay to him in person.
I'm here. Wish identification? I have it.
But you're Mr. Harrison. Charles Harrison. You said so a moment ago.
I'm Harris Thompson. I see. Perhaps the London branch made a mistake. I'll get in touch with them and come back tomorrow. Sorry to have bothered you.
I caught your signal, Bartley. Is something wrong?
That fellow there, sir, just going out the door, gave me two different names while he was trying to collect on this draft.
Some kind of swindle?
I can't say, sir. The order came down from London in perfectly good order. There are £250 up there. It's a bit strange. And he behaved oddly. Gave his name as Harrison.
It's quite simple. Quite simple, really. Money had been deposited in London. The man who was to draw it in Yarmouth would thereby acquire the appearance and reputation of wealth and honesty. When he returned with a new forged draft, it would be honored. A neat scheme. But the fellow mixed up the name. The Yarmouth bank reported to the Yard. Inspector Dodson came calling.
We'll get out a pickup order. It might be well worth our while to talk with this Harrison Thompson, whatever his name is.
Yes?
Does Mr. Harris Thompson live here?
What name?
Harris Thompson.
No, just live here.
Oh, that's a pity. I had something for him.
Oh, what was that?
Something important.
Could you leave it?
Well, no, I've got to give it to him in person. Confidential, you see.
Oh. Well, wait a minute.
Yes?
What do you want?
Are you Mr. Harris Thompson? Who are you? Never mind who I am, Mr. Harris Thompson. I have a warrant for your arrest.
My name isn't Harris Thompson.
That's something we know already, Mr. Rafe.
All right, Rafe. You tripped yourself. You know that now.
My name is Harris Thompson.
Stop it, Rafe. Your fingerprints are in file in criminal records. We know your name.
My name is Harris Thompson.
It'll go a lot easier with you if you admit the truth.
My name is Harris Thompson.
And that's all you'll say?
My name is...
All right. We've heard it before. Lock him up, Sergeant. The charge will be attempted fraud and larceny.
Come along, Rafe.
With Rafe Harrison Thompson safely away in the Yarmouth jail, Inspector Dodson, in company with several Yarmouth policemen and the manager of the bank, visited the man's lodging.
I must say, Inspector, when you search a place, you are quite thorough.
Just a routine, sir. Does this make any sense to you?
Dear friend, there is no doubt your error at the bank, while understandable, was quite grave. However, I expect to rectify it shortly. The bank has requested that Mr. Thompson come there personally to sign a new bit of paper, giving Mr. Harrison permission to withdraw the money in Yarmouth. I will explain later exactly what I want you to do. In the meanwhile, do not come up to London. Caution has always been and always will be my watchword. Trust me, sincerely yours, J. Why, this fellow is describing our regular procedure where identification is in doubt.
I see. Do you notice the same thing about this letter that I do, sir?
Rather a well-formed handwriting.
More than that. This letter was written by an educated person. A very well-educated person. But for what a purpose?
Yes, the phrasing is simple, but the words he uses, it's a little difficult to understand, isn't it? Why someone with education would involve himself in something like this?
Well, when we find J, we may have an answer to that. In the meantime, I think we may have our first direct link to the forger.
Well, today, as I told you, that self-same letter can be seen in its place in the Black Museum. The words in the letter, signed simply J, told nothing new. The manner and style of its writing told many things. This J, possibly the long-sought forger, was a man of education, and intelligence. A shadow figure using many other men to further his own designs. Seemed a kind of devil, but within a very few days they learned he was at least a man.
So my cousin Rafe is in trouble again.
Yes, Mrs. Webster, and we would like to know the occasion of his visiting you.
I haven't seen him in 10 years. My own aunt's son, and not in 10 years.
Most of which he spent commuting back and forth in and out of prison. Why do you suppose he turned up now?
He wanted something. First I thought he turned a new leaf, but he wanted something. A convenience. He'd taken a room in Yarmouth. Would I, he says, receive his mail for him?
And you did?
Yes, Inspector, I did.
May I see whatever you have left of it?
I haven't anything. Rafe's friend came and asked for all his mail.
His friend?
Yes, sir. And how a man like that came to be friends with Rafe, I'll never understand. Well-dressed, nice-looking, and with a real refined manner.
Could you describe this man, Mrs. Webster?
I had a good look at him. Even talked to him. Fair as she was. Brown hair, nice blue eyes. About, well, my husband's size, and he's 5'8". Weighs about 170 pounds. A nice mouth. And I'll wager his hands never held a pick or shovel.
The second link, a description. Apparently a man of some means. Not particularly individualized, of course, but still, he was someone who could identify this J when he'd been found. As for Rafe, his fate was settled quickly.
Rafe Martin, you have been convicted of fraud, attempted fraud, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Have you anything to say before sentence is pronounced?
What for, your lordship? Your mind's made up. Nothing I will say can change it.
Very well. As you seem to be the dupe of someone with a great deal more intelligence than yourself, I've been tempted to lighten your punishment. However, your intransigent attitude towards the law enforcement officers in this case, your attitude in court, and your past record removed all such temptations. You are about to be committed to prison for the maximum time the law allows. 20 years hard labor. That is all.
An underling, a dupe, went to prison. Shortly after his arrival there in Dartmoor, Rafe had a visitor in his cell.
Surprised, Rafe?
Only if you were to be my cellmate.
Hardly that. But I may have the key which will unlock that door before you expect.
I make no deals with coppers.
20 years is a long time. You'll be an old man when you get out.
What of it?
In fact, 20 years may be a life sentence for you.
Nothing I can do about it?
Isn't there? I think you know exactly what you can do about it.
I don't talk.
Your friend Jay didn't help you much in court, did he?
Why should he?
I don't think you owe him anything. Chances are he had the lion's share of all your little dealings, and now he's free to go right on while you're in here. Think about it, Rafe. If you change your mind, the water...
Rafe thought about it. Honor among thieves. Up to a point, perhaps. But the cold, bleak winter at Dartmoor was beyond that point. At least for Rafe.
All right, Inspector. But what's in it for me?
I think your sentence will be considerably reduced. You were convicted on 3 counts, Rafe. The time for each might be made to run concurrently instead of consecutively, without too much difficulty.
Is it a deal?
Well, I can't promise. You know how such things are, Rafe.
All right, I'll chance it. You never get him otherwise. He's too smart. He's a lawyer.
What?
That's right. Knows all the ins and outs, he does. Laughs all the time when another fellow's being fooled. He's laughing at me right now.
You've seen him, then?
I've seen him.
What's his name? Or don't you know?
Oh, I know all right. But he doesn't know I found it out. Followed him home one night. Had his name on his doorbell. I can be bright at times myself.
Yes?
Mrs. Seaforth? Mrs. Joseph Seaforth?
I'm Mrs. Seaforth.
Is your husband at home?
I'm sorry, no. Would you care to leave your name?
We're from Scotland Yard, madam. We have a warrant for your husband's arrest.
Arrest? Joe, what can you've done?
That's a long story, Ma'am. It's taken us quite some time to track him this far. When do you expect him back?
That's it, sir. I don't know. He went out of town on business a week ago. I haven't heard from him since. He's never done anything like this before, never.
Gone. Joseph Seaforth, the forger, disappeared. But there are certain rules of thumb the police follow in situations like this. They know what happens when the wanted notices appear in the post offices all over the country.
Now remember, I want every lead that comes in followed through. We're dealing with a very tricky customer, and every piece of information, however small, may be helpful.
Yes, I knew him all right. He used to come into the bar for a drink often enough. He was a real gentleman. Distinguished looking.
Oh, have you seen him recently?
No, haven't seen him for months.
That's his face, all right. Recognize it anywhere. Took a room at our house for a couple of months. Not that we saw much of him.
Oh, when did he leave?
About 6 months ago.
And you haven't seen him since?
No.
I know so far, William, I'm confident that somewhere, sometime, somebody who's seen that wanted notice is going to meet up with Seaforth again.
Hello there, Mr. Seaforth.
But my name's not Seaforth. It's Saunders.
It's Seaforth, all right. And mine's Halsey. Jack Halsey. One of the fellows you put in there got into trouble, like you got Rafe Martin into trouble.
I'll appreciate it if
Don't waste your breath. Your picture's up, see? And a right good likeness it is, too.
Oh. All right. I am Joseph Seaforth. And now that you know, how do you like to make some money with me?
Money? How?
I have a check. It's a good one. Will you cash it for me?
What kind of knock do you think I am? Once burnt, twice shy. That's me every time.
We've reason to believe, Halsey, that you've seen Seaforth.
What if I have, Inspector?
We want to know where.
Why should I tell you?
I would if I were you. We have enough in you to make you rather uncomfortable for a fair amount of time.
All right, I saw him in a pub in Whitechapel. He hangs about down there a lot, I hear.
Pass the word, Sergeant. We know Seaforth's in Whitechapel somewhere. Circulate his description to all stations. And, Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
Put the pigeons onto it, Sergeant. They'll know a lot more about him a lot faster than we will.
Seaforth seems to frequent two places more than others, Inspector. The Dancing Bear and the Monument.
Well, he's getting a trifle careless, isn't he? With all his cleverness, he ought to have known better than that.
The search had narrowed now. 2 pubs in Whitechapel. The inspector and Sergeant Berkey dropped in at the Dancing Bear for a quiet pint.
Do this again, will you, landlord?
Very well, sir. We seem to be drawing a blank here, Inspector.
So far, yes. We'll wait a bit.
There you are.
There you are.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, we happen to be waiting for a fella. Perhaps you know him. Name is Seaforth.
Never heard of him. We don't ask names in here. One man's money is as good as another, as long as you don't cause trouble. That's the only way to stay in business.
The inspector and the sergeant finished their ale. They lingered briefly, then
All right, Sergeant. We'll go now.
they left. Outside the door, the inspector turned back.
Watch the landlord, Sergeant, through the window.
I see him, sir. He's heading for the back room.
Come along, Sergeant, before our man gets out of the back door.
The bar door, sir. On the right-hand side.
Good enough. Craig, I'll be on my way.
How are you, Mr. Seaforth?
You're barking up the wrong tree, copper. This man's name is Saunders. Stay out of this, landlord, if you want to stay in business.
My name is Saunders, and if you are the police, it's hardly necessary for you to molest decent citizens.
It's no good, Seaforth. I think you know that. We have a warrant, and your fingerprints from your own apartment. All right, Seaforth. It's finished now. Perhaps one day you'll tell us why you did it.
The law can be very dull. When you know it and turn it on itself, there's excitement of a sort. Perhaps one day you'll tell me how you picked up the proper thread. It doesn't matter very much at the moment.
And the silent witness to that whole story is today in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
The trial of Joseph Seaforth was swift. One somewhat strange incident did occur, strange in the light of the man's background, previous experience. Throughout the trial, he made no effort to defend himself. He seemed quite ready to accept whatever punishment was determined for him. And then, as the judge was about to pronounce sentence, Seaforth requested the record of his case. He wished, he said, to enter objections to what he felt was inadmissible evidence. The judge denied the request on the grounds that the objection should have been made before the verdict was announced. So Joseph Seaforth went to prison for 20 years. And it was never determined why the lawyer in him awoke, only when it was too late. And now, until next time, till we meet in the same place, and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, remain as always, obediently yours.
This is ORSON Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum is the repository of death. Yes, here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide. For everyday objects, a glass ashtray, a porcelain vase, an electric fan, all are touched by murder. There's a piece of iron chain. It's a familiar object. Might be a bar on a gravel driveway. It might rest in an emergency truck, a youth in towing an automobile. It might. In this case, it was the cause of death. Remember this, Brodsby?
Hey, of course, Inspector. You knew, didn't you? We just about then closed the file on the Telp killing.
Yes, you told me. It's just as well there's no statute of limitations on murder.
And today, that chain can be seen in its place in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Well, here we are. The Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Here lies death. And this is different, quite different from a graveyard. Tombstones mark only the mounds beneath which dust has returned to dust. But these white cards, with the neat black lettering, designate the means of death. And in every case, it's been violence. Chain. Now, what do you associate with the words? With the sound? Chain. Ships and anchors? Slavery? Bars and prisons, maybe? Well, hardly with a young girl, 23, seated in a hard chair in the bare office of Inspector Hall, Scotland Yard.
I'm sorry to ask you to repeat that statement, Miss Tomlinson. You'll understand that I find it rather hard to believe. You feel the same way, don't you, Sergeant?
Oh, I do, sir. No doubt about it, I do.
Well, I rather expected you would, Inspector. In modern times, I do.
And you've no explanation for these, phenomena?
If I had, I wouldn't be here, Inspector. You must believe me. There is a ghost, and I'm frightened.
You don't mean, Miss Tomlinson, there are noises in the night, and they frighten you.
Noises. And the voice. My father's voice. He wants me out of the house. Well, why should he want me out when he left it to me? When we were so happy there together.
Just you and your father?
Mother died when I was very little. I hardly knew her. Now there's only myself.
In the house? Haunted? I see. Does this ghost, by any chance, rattle chains?
Yes. Oh, it's a horrible sound.
Apparently, the good inspector had his own ideas about this ghost. In fact, after Joan Tomlinson left his office.
Interested, Preston?
In ghosts? Little, sir?
In good-looking heiresses, Sergeant.
Oh, that, no, sir. But it might be possible that someone else is, or in her property.
Perhaps.
Well, look into it, Preston. If we don't, the odds are the young lady will be back until we do. Let me have a report in the morning.
The morning was 8 hours away. Sergeant Preston walked up the quiet street in the London suburb where each house stood alone on its own plot of ground. Even in the inadequate light from the street lamps, the sergeant could see something of well-kept lawns. He turned into the concrete driveway, skirted 2 garages and attendant back gardens, finding his way to a screened back porch where a light showed briefly.
You came, Sergeant.
Thank you for the light.
My torch. I didn't want you to try the wrong house. This way. I thought we'd wait in the upstairs sitting room.
Whatever you think best, miss. It's your ghost.
Yes, isn't it? The stairs are this way.
The sergeant felt, rather than saw, in the darkness, that it was a large house. Seemed to be several rooms on the ground floor, and upstairs they passed 3 closed doors before they entered the sitting room, which apparently extended the full width of the building.
That's the comfortable chair. It was Father's.
Thank you, miss.
A drink?
No, thank you. I'll smoke if I may.
Yes, of course.
When does he come? Midnight?
Any time after I've gone to bed. Usually around now.
They waited. Nothing. Think he'll come tonight, miss? What's that?
It's starting. You'll see. It's starting.
Inspector, I'll never believe that.
Do you hear it, Sergeant? Do you?
How can I help it, miss?
Tony, can you hear me?
It's just us. It sounds so like him.
Tony, I can't rest. I can't. Not with you. Alone. Alone. In the house. Oh.
It's human. It's got to be. Does it, Sergeant, really? Does it have to be human? Have you been to a seance, Sergeant? Have you ever heard of the researches of Conan Doyle and dozens of others?
Now do you believe me, Sergeant?
There's something, miss.
Well, who could sound like my father? Who? Who would call me Joni? Oh, all right. I might as well have some lights now. He will... It won't come back until tomorrow night.
I see. Only once a night.
Yes. Well, don't you want to search the house or anything?
Well, Sergeant, don't you? If this thing is human, there ought to be some trace, Sergeant. Oughtn't there? No, miss. Whatever it is, will be gone now. Maybe tomorrow night.
Well, you will report this to the inspector. Please.
Yes, of course. Shouldn't you go to a hotel for a while, miss, till this is cleared up?
Oh, I thought of that a week ago, Sergeant. But, well, I like my own room, and if it isn't my father, he won't harm me. He'd never do that.
You're very certain of that, aren't you, young lady? Aren't you a bit confused? If you believe that, why worry? Why go to the police, to the yard? Why be frightened of a fatherly ghost? Well, the sergeant asks that.
I know, but I wanted someone else to hear him. I was scared. Maybe I was imagining things. I'll be all right, Sergeant. I expect I'm safe. In my own house?
And so you send the sergeant on his way, the sergeant who ought to have searched the house. You take him down the back stairs and out the back door, Joan. You go upstairs, alone, to your own room, and start to undress. Talk to yourself, give yourself courage.
Stop it, Joan Tomlinson. Stop it here. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're not going crazy. You... What's that? The light. Oh, no. Yes, Dad. Yes?
Go away, Joan. Go away before I have to hurt you. I don't want to. It's part of my punishment. I have to hurt you. Leave the house. Go away. Quickly. Don't let me get you. Run. Run.
Yes, run. Run, Joan, run. Medicine is now. Run, Joan, out into the black hallway down the front stairs. Run.
Help! Somebody help me!
Miss Tomlinson, I waited about, miss. Thought you might come back. Heard you scream. Now, see here, miss. You're going straight to hospital, and I'm going straight to the inspector. I don't like the looks of this, not a bit. Well, who would like the looks of it? Particularly if you didn't believe in ghosts, and of course Inspector Hall didn't believe in ghosts. Standing beside Joan in her room at the hospital, he was quite explicit. It's a mighty corporeal ghost, miss.
How do you know, Inspector?
Your twisted ankle. That was no accident. A stair tread was sawn through. I understand ghosts have difficulty with cross-cut saws. Miss Tomlinson, do you have any next of kin? That is, anyone who might benefit if anything happened to you?
Only some second cousins. I haven't seen them in years.
They live in London?
Oh, I know. There was Larry Tulk. He was in Manchester. I had a note after Father died. And Jenny Hennessy, he lives in Norwich. Yes, I think. And yes, of course. Ruth Carstairs. Father spoke of her. She's a school teacher. The oldest. A school in Bristol. But that's impossible, Inspector. None of them...
None of them would want you out of the way.
No, of course not.
I see. Then, how do you account for this, Miss Tomlinson, Sergeant? Yes, sir. Here it is.
Where is it?
In the cellar of your house, under some umbrella bags, right near the furnace, Miss Tomlinson. The furnace with its tin ducts to the registers in the room above. Many a youngster used these echoing ducts to imitate a ghost, or to overhear what was going on in another room. As I said before, Miss Tomlinson, this is a mighty corporeal ghost. He saw through stairs. He uses hot air ducts to amplify his voice, and he carries his own sound effects. I don't like this any more than Sergeant Preston does, miss. I don't like it at all. And today, that same chain can be seen in the Black Museum. A piece of iron chain. The hot air ducts to carry a voice through a lonely house. No ghost, this, but someone with a plan and a motive. Inspector Hull had no illusions about ghosts, and certainly none about the danger to Joan Tomlinson. All right, Preston. Let's get to work on this. The three cousins? Right. Oh, the girl says there's no possibility. Where is a will, Sergeant?
There's a way to start someone thinking. The girl was wrong about her ghost. She can be wrong about her cousins. Get the wires out, Preston. And I want an unobtrusive guard on the house, 24 hours a day. You've got the names of those people she mentioned?
Simple. Routine. Teletype messages. Advise earliest convenience. Well, the advice came so conveniently early that Inspector Hull, who sat at his desk with the 3 bits of yellow paper before him, remarked to Sergeant Preston.
It's unbelievable, Sergeant.
Coincidence, sir?
Coincidence? My foot. All 3 dead within a few days of each other. All 3 filed, unsolved. Telk, July 6th. Hennessy, July 8th. Carstairs, July 12th. Sergeant. Under no circumstances is that girl to be permitted to leave the hospital. That's an order. She's safe there.
How long, Inspector?
Until I get back.
Back, sir?
Don't look blank, Preston. Just look at these telegraph replies. I'm making a cook's tour of these 3 cities, Manchester, Norwich, and Bristol. Obviously, I need facts. There seem to be quite a few facts in Manchester, Norwich, and Bristol.
England isn't so very large, you see, and the trains are fast. In Manchester...
I understand, Bardsby, that the Telk case was in your hands.
Aye, that's correct, sir.
Well, how far did you get?
No motive, nothing. Just this man Telk walking home alone on a July night, toward 11. A dark street. A carving knife in his back. That's all.
A night train to Norwich. Another police headquarters, another detective. Anxious to cooperate.
Here it is, Inspector. All we have on the Hennessy case.
Tell me about it, Wilson.
Hit and run driver. I checked the scene myself. Hennessy was hit on the sidewalk. Looked as if some drunk had driven right up on the walk and crushed the man against the building wall.
And so a pattern emerges. 2 men die, quite unexpectedly, but in this case, no clues, no indication that there was purpose or motive, except that a 3rd man died quite naturally in London, and his daughter was the victim of deliberate fright, and all those involved were related to each other. As a pattern emerges. It's continued in Bristol.
All right, Appleby. What have you on the Carstairs woman? A school teacher. I believe she was...
Yes, retired, quiet, the usual, until she took some headache remedy the night of July the 12th. Unfortunately for her, someone had put strychnine in the bottle.
I know that kind of death. Nasty. Anything else?
Some prints on the bottle, not hers. She smudged them with her own when she took the bottle out of the medicine cabinet. Her landlady said she had a visitor the day before, but she usually did. Former students, all that sort of thing.
Mind if I go over and see that landlady?
No, not at all. The name is Ross. Help yourself. Quite a talker, that woman.
It was a semi-detached villa with a vacancy sign on the door. Mrs. Ross was indeed quite a talker. Inspector Hull let her talk.
At least 15 years. Oh, a wonderful woman, Inspector, sir. So many of our students come to see her, even after she retired. The kind of teacher you don't find nowadays.
I know exactly what you mean, ma'am.
And she was so happy that day, what with her cousin being here the day before and all.
Her cousin, Mrs. Ross?
Yes, I remember it clearly. She called. She was going out for a bit of cake for tea, now that her cousin, Michael Stroud, had come to see her.
A new name. Another cousin. One Michael Stroud. Carefully now, Inspector. Carefully.
You don't happen to know where he was from now, do you, ma'am?
Oh, from London. I have the address. Found an envelope in the waste paper basket while I was clearing out the poor thing's room.
Did you tell this to the police?
No, sir. They were so busy with their bustle and dusting everything for fingerprints, they said.
Yes, of course. Now, Mrs. Ross, may I have that address, please? That is, if you still have it.
A teletype message travels much faster than a train from Bristol to London. By the time the inspector reached his office, Sergeant Preston was waiting with the answer.
We've been there, sir. Michael Stroud had a flat at the address, but he's moved and left no forwarding address.
Oh, when did he move out?
July 13, sir. The day after the Carstairs woman died.
When the quarry is escaping, what do you do? Well, the least you can do is close some of the gaps in the situation. Try to develop motive and opportunity. The inspector permitted Joan Tomlinson to leave the hospital and to proceed in his company to the office of a solicitor.
Now, sit down, Joan. And you, Inspector.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you. I gather something is amiss.
Mr. Thomas, we have reason to believe that 3 people have died because of Miss Tomlinson's inheritance, and that her own life is in danger.
Well, that's unbelievable, sir.
It usually is. However, the 3 who are dead are all second cousins of Miss Tomlinson, her next of kin. What we are here to find out is, does the will under which she inherits her property state to whom that property devises in the event of her death?
Not exactly. That is, if she dies intestate, the property under the law would pass to her next of kin in equal shares, of course.
Mr. Thomas, with all her second cousins dead, a third cousin will be next in line, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, I know of no such relative, sir.
Unfortunately, sir, we do. His name is Michael Stroud. His whereabouts at present are unknown.
Motive present. Very definitely present. Opportunity obvious. And seized at least 3 times in Manchester, Norwich, and Bristol. As to the next move, the inspector outlined a plan, briefly.
Miss Tomlinson, do you still believe in ghosts?
Not anymore.
Very well. Would you be afraid to stay in your house alone?
I see. I'm to be the bit of cheese in the trap. Correct, Inspector?
Absolutely correct.
Very well. When do we begin?
Only began that night. Joan left the hospital, returned to her house, to the memories, to the now silent ducks, to the still chiming clock. The first night was uneventful. Others followed. Bit by bit, Joan slipped back into her normal everyday routine, a girl in her home with a servant during the day, alone at night. The ghost. The 3 deaths in 3 cities, the inspector began to take on aspects of a dream. Reality was coming home after an evening in the city, going upstairs, listening to the little clock. Preparing for sleep, indulging in a little habit of talking to herself.
There's nothing to worry about. Really nothing. He's gone away. Out of the country, maybe. Oh, forget Michael Stroud, Johnny. Forget the whole thing. What's that?
How are you, Joan? Feeling well? And safe?
Get out. Whoever you are.
That won't work, Johnny. You know I'm your cousin, Michael. Come to call.
I never saw you before.
In my life? I know, dear. And now that you have seen me, what else is there to live for?
Oh, but you couldn't get away with it.
Oh, yes, I could. I can. I will. You'll be a lovely suicide, dear. Carbon monoxide from the register from the furnace. Or maybe they'll call it accidental death.
Inspector Hollis find you.
Oh?
You better where you are.
I doubt it. He wasn't around to seize me tonight, was he? And I'm very good at hiding. More than ever tie me to Cousin Larry or Cousin Jerry or Cousin...
They have. Got a fingerprint.
Ah, there now. That's their worry, not mine. Now sit down. In that chair.
I will.
Sit down. I have it planned perfectly, Joan. You'll sit down, I'll tie you in that chair, shut the windows, the door, turn on the heat. You'll be gagged, too. I forgot to mention that. You'll die.
No.
I'll come back, put you on the bed.
No! You can't make me!
I said sit down and shut up!
Take him in charge, Sergeant. We have enough.
Pass.
We're still in the bait, Sergeant. Look out! Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for getting his gun away, sir. Nicely handled, Sergeant. You all right, Miss Tomlinson?
Yes, I think so. He is a very corporeal ghost. Isn't he, Inspector?
Definitely. And I believe his corporeal fingerprints will match those on the handle of a very corporeal knife in Manchester, a steering wheel in Norwich, a bottle in Bristol, and a certain chain in the possession of Scotland Yard.
Have you ever heard of a ghost's fingerprints? No. Neither have I. But that chain isn't ghostly. You can see it today in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
Case was closed at the traditional time one morning in the usual manner. And Michael Stroud at the hands of the Crown became forever an incorporeal ghost. And the chain remains in its usual place in Scotland Yard. And now until we meet next time, I tell you another story of the Black Museum. I remain as always obediently yours.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a light bulb, a broken mirror, a stained blotting pad, all are touched by murder. Here's an auto service card, issued by a garage to show that a certain motor car was oiled and greased when the speedometer reading was 15,001.
According to the card, his car had done 5,001 miles on the first. By the following day, he'd added another 160 miles to the speedometer reading.
And he told you, Inspector, he hadn't been on any long journeys.
He'd forgotten the speedometer reading on the service card. They all overlooked something.
And the harmless-looking service card which George Dalton overlooked was instrumental in convicting him of the brutal murder of his own mother and father. That's why it's earned its place here in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Now, here we are in the Black Museum. As beyond these stone walls, the life of London flows as ceaselessly as the muddy waters of Thames. Here, it's silent. Let us walk under the frieze of death masks, the masks of criminals of bygone days, suspended grimly under the ceiling. That glass funnel means nothing until we stop and read the card beside it. Once this funnel was used to pour acid over the body of a woman. Insignificant in itself, easily broken, but it was strong enough to hang a murderer. Now, here's a pair of spectacles. Over there's a powder puff. And here's what we're after, the buff-colored service card. As I open the showcase and take it between my fingers, I ask you to come with me back to 1947. We're calling at the quiet suburban house of Mr. and Mrs. Dalton, live in South London. It's a respectable district populated by respectable middle-class people, but the Daltons are in trouble. The cause is their only son, George Frederick. They are discovering that George is not as other young men of his age. to his parents, he is, at the age of 23, a problem child.
He's not a bad boy, Fred, you know that. But he just doesn't seem to settle down.
I know his trouble.
Oh, don't be too harsh on him.
He won't work. That's what's wrong with the young devil.
Oh, Fred.
Well, how many jobs has he had since he came out of the army?
I don't know.
So many you lose count. And even the army couldn't do anything with him. Absent without leave half a dozen times. He spent more time in detention than he did on the drill square.
Here he is. Oh, dear, he's upset again.
Now I expect you'll turn the radio on. Oh, George, for heaven's sake, don't turn that radio on. I've got a headache.
Oh, go to hell.
What did you say to me?
I told you to... Here, you get away from that set.
Joe, you put your hands on me. Go to your room.
But I'm sure...
Attacked me.
I'm sorry, Dad.
I'm sure he didn't
Go to
mean
your
it.
room.
I didn't mean it, Dad.
I'll sweep up this mess and we'll have some tea, shall we?
All right, young man. For your mother's sake, I'll forget it. But I'm getting straight on the telephone to my old friend Jim Spencer. He's got a jeweler's shop in Clapham, and he meets a lot of people. Maybe he can advise me about fixing you up with a job.
Jim Spencer, the jeweler, was white-haired in his 60s. He lived over his shop, which was quietly prosperous, and he had just lost a young assistant who, having learned something of the trade, had transferred to a larger firm. So George Dalton was taken on in his place, and for the first time George seemed to be interested in his work. But perhaps that was not altogether surprising.
Pass me my eyeglass, will you, my boy?
Here you are.
Thank you.
That's a very nice pendant you're working on, Mr. Spencer.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
How much is it worth?
I give 100 guineas for it, then sell it at 120.
Would the owner sell?
Not this one. But I always keep a few £100 in the safe there, just in case I get a chance to buy something like this. Now, where did I put those tweezers?
To Mrs. Dalton's delight, her son was still working in the shop at the end of 6 months. But young George was rather less interested in the work than in the end product. And above all, he was interested in that safe. He even had a duplicate of the key made. He had a duplicate of the door key, too. Perhaps he didn't quite know what he was going to do with his keys, but in a steamy cafe behind the bright lights of Piccadilly, he found a friend who had ideas.
If you ask me, chum, I'd say you were sitting on a blinking gold mine.
Hey, what do you mean?
Yeah, come off it, George. We did 90 days detention together in the army, didn't we?
Yeah?
I know you're not quite daft. I mean, all you got to do is to get the key of the door, the key of the safe, and...
Well, I've got those.
Well, you have.
There they are.
Well, for crying out loud, what are you stalling about?
Well, I've never pulled off a real job, Charlie. It's a bit of a step to take, isn't it?
It's up to you, Cook. I know what I'd do. I'd slip in about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Here, Charlie. Would you come with me?
All right. Do you want to make it a business proposition?
Yes, I do. Look, if we broke in together...
Quiet. Pay the bill. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Here, where do we go?
I'm taking her down to the Elephant and Castle. Meet Slash. We work as a team. He's the boss. It's the only safe way. Slash has got brains. He'll put you right. Come on, I'll introduce you.
So George Dalton started his professional career.
Yeah, you know this got well to you, Charlie?
I'll say, we did 90 days together, didn't we, George?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And you want to join us, do you, George?
I want Charlie to come in on this job with me. That's the idea.
The idea's okay. And we need a jewellery expert in the gang. But get this, pal. I'm the boss. And what I say goes. Do this job, you and Charlie, and take 50% of the profits. The rest goes into the organisation. Understand? Do you agree to the terms?
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Then that's fixed. Shake on it. This clinches it. And remember, there's no funny business in this outfit. I suppose you know why the boys call me Slash.
I think so.
I carry a razor. Remember that, George. Not that I'd use it on you, but I thought I'd mention it in passing.
George is okay, I've told you.
Of course he's okay, and I'll fix up a car for you tomorrow night.
A car?
Yes, it's all part of the service. You're busting into the Spencer shop tomorrow night. So you've got all day tomorrow to fix the burglar alarms.
And those burglar alarms took quite a bit of fixing. But by closing time, George Dalton had traced and snipped the wires. Putting on his coat, he wished his employer a dutiful good night, and at 11 o'clock, Mr. Spencer turned out his light in the bedroom upstairs and climbed into bed. 3 hours later, a stolen car turned quietly into the deserted street and stopped.
The coast clear, George. You got the keys?
You bet.
Okay, then, in we go. Right. Where's the safe?
Over here.
Oh, okay, get to work. The old man's upstairs, isn't he?
Yes.
Heaven help the old fool if he wakes up and comes down. You got that safe open yet?
No, the lock's a bit stiff. Here, Charles.
Yeah?
Shine the torch this way.
Go on, what's that? Jumping jakes, what the blazes are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I knocked a tray over. The clock made me jump. Here, let's get out, quick.
Open that safe, you stupid swab.
It's jammed, Charlie.
Yeah, come on, let me have a go. You sure this is the right key?
Of course I'm sure. Here, look, Spencer will be awake now. We must get out.
You idiotic clot, this isn't the right key.
Yes, it is. And the lock's open. Pull the door.
Look out, the old man's coming. Here he is.
Who's there?
Get him.
Jeez! Get back! Get up!
Grab what you can and run for it.
Okay. I've got 2 trays of rings and some notes. Come on, let's get out.
The jeweler was found, lying in a pool of blood. 10 minutes later. The neighbor who found him called the police immediately, but needless to say, there were no signs of the thieves, and they had left no clues. And Mrs. Dalton stated that her son had been at home in bed on the night of the robbery. To the best of her knowledge, she was telling the truth. But 2 days later, her son visited his unfortunate employer and handed in his notice.
You see, Mr. Spencer, I just couldn't go on drawing me wages while the shop's closed and you're here in hospital.
You're a good boy, George. I only wish you knew enough about the business to carry it on for me, but I thought it wiser to put the stock away in the bank in case those rascals came back.
I only wish I could get my hands on them, the dirty swine.
Well, luckily they didn't get away with anything worthwhile.
What do you mean? I thought that you...
What did you think, George?
I thought they cleaned you out.
No, I'm too old a bird to leave valuables in the shop safe at night. I take 'em all upstairs to a real safe. I only leave the paste stuff down below. Didn't I ever tell you?
No, you never told me.
How much the old gentleman suspected, we don't know. If he did have any suspicions, he never had them. But Slasher was not so easy.
George Dalton, the expert in jewellery. Come here, George. I want to speak to you. What's the trouble, Slash? I'll tell you what's the trouble. You dirty double-crossing perisher. Think you can unload junk on me, do you? You knew these rings were duff. I didn't know. After working in the shop for 6 months, you didn't know where the real stuff was? Don't give me that. 2 trays of duff and a $5 in notes. You can't get away with it. Where's the rest? There isn't any more. Okay. I warned you. Here it comes. Put the razor!
The slash of the razor across Dalton's left cheek unlocked the gates of an unquenchable hatred. With the flash of 6 inches of sharp steel, he became a killer, and he knew that the slasher must die. He would evolve the perfect murder, with no clues, such as the service card which can be seen today among the exhibits in the Black Museum. We return to Dalton, the killer. With blood still streaming from his cheek, he smiles at the slasher. And for the first time in his life, that individual is surprised, taken off his guard.
I suppose I asked for that. Get out of here. You're not pretty. I've got your brand on me now. I've got to be one of you. What do you mean? You're a man of action. I like that, even if it hurts. Give me another chance. I'll do better next time. I never knew they made them so yellow. Get out. You stink. I've got a date here with a smasher and you might scare her away. Now, scram. Here she comes.
Henry, is that you?
Right here, Toots.
I never knew your name was Henry.
Yet.
Oh, hello, what's happened?
Oh, he's had an accident. Just going.
Hello there.
Are you hurt bad?
No, it's just nothing much.
He's no friend of mine, Brenda. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Good night, Henry. Good night, Brenda. I'm going to say some more of you.
That's right, Dalton. You've made your choice. You're going to start with a girl. That will hurt him. Follow them. They go into a cafe. Have a meal. You wait in the shadows. They're coming out at last. Follow them again. Into a mean little street. Oh, yes, this must be where she lives.
You're going to let me in, aren't you, Toots?
No, I'm tired.
What's the matter with you tonight?
I don't know what you did to that fellow.
Oh, for Pete's sake, you're not still beefing about him.
I know what you did, and I'm no prude, but I don't like races, and you know it. Good night.
No, look here, wait a minute. Okay, if that's the way you want it. See you tomorrow.
He's gone. Suppose we knock on her door. Yes, knock on her door. See what happens. Cheeks still bleeding.
Look, I told you to...
It's me.
What do you want?
Have you got something I can put on this cut?
You followed us?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I need help.
Oh, if he comes back, he'll kill you. Here, come in quick. I don't know why I'm doing this. I must be crazy. Here, come into the kitchen. I'll bathe that cut.
Well, I'd better go. I'm a nuisance.
Oh, you can't go now. Come over to the sink. Well, if the cops saw you in this mess, they'd take you for questioning. Here, hold your face over the water.
Righto.
What's your name?
George. George Dalton.
Henry says you double-crossed him.
I didn't.
It would be so easy to squeeze that pretty throat of yours, Brenda. But you're too lovely. Much
there.
too lovely.
Now, keep still while I put some plaster on. It's lucky the cut isn't deep.
Huh?
How'd you feel?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Oh.
I suppose I'd better go now.
I don't understand you, George. You know, you're different from the others.
What others?
I suppose you know what sort of girl I am.
I don't care what sort of girl you are, but I sure like you.
Well, you're decent. Perhaps you should go.
I'll do just whatever you say.
Oh, your shirt and coat are all covered in blood. I can't turn you out like that. You better spend the night, and I'll get you some clean clothes in the morning.
Brenda, I never felt like this about anyone before. I don't know what to say.
Funny. I don't either. Well, I'll put the kettle on and we'll have a nice cup of tea.
Tea. As much a part of London's life as Buckingham Palace and the Houses of Parliament. Brenda made tea. The next morning she went out and bought her new lover the clothes he needed. He put on the clothes she brought him and went home. He knew quite well what he was going to do, and that night he borrowed his father's car, and at 9 o'clock he drove to the bomb site, where he knew the slasher would be waiting for Brenda. And in his pocket he had a short length of lead piping. As he approached his objective, he saw a movement in the shadows. It was the slasher.
Well, if it isn't the jewel expert. Yeah, you come into money?
Hello, Slash. How you doing?
Well, what's the idea? Not looking for trouble, are you?
What do you think?
Get back, you... Oh.
Now, that squares out account. Now, I'll put you under the rug in the back of the car, and I'll take you for a little ride.
To a deserted bridge over a railway. Dalton lifted his victim onto the parapet. Then he paused.
Just before you go, I wonder how much you've got in your pocket. Anybody coming? Good. Oh, yes. Quite a few notes here. Thank you, Slash. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
And quite gently, Dalton eased the unconscious man over the edge. After that, it was easy. Brenda, like the old jeweler, may have had her suspicions, but she kept them to herself. Dalton had money, taken nearly £100 from the Slash's pocket before pushing him into the path of the oncoming train. That £100 lasted just 2 weeks. 2 glorious weeks. The happy couple celebrated those weeks in the famous seaside resort of Brighton. Then, on the morning of January the 1st, 1948, with funds running low, George Dalton took his father's car into the Carduck service station to be oiled and greased. Now, why did he do that? Superintendent Brandruth of Scotland Yard has the answer.
There is no doubt that Dalton had already decided to drive to his parents' home and ask for money. He had insufficient funds with which to pay his hotel bill, and it was essential for him to receive help from his father. His father was always particular about the regular servicing of his car, and the son doubtless had this carried out in order to produce it as a sop for his father's wrath.
And the speedometer reading was 15,001, duly recorded on the service card. So George Dalton drove the 50-odd miles to his home on what was to be his fatal journey. He was hampered by fog on the way, and when he eventually turned into his own street, the fog was very thick. Stopped the car outside his parents' house, went inside, and got down to business.
I'm sorry, Father, but I've got to have the money quick.
Well, who the blazes do you think you're talking to? You take my car for a weekend, you keep it for a fortnight?
Well, I've had it serviced.
I don't care if you've had it rebuilt. You'll never drive it again. Billy nearly got onto the police and reported it stolen by you. And now you have the infernal impudence to demand £50, just like that.
If I don't have it, I'll go to prison. The hotel won't
Then you'll
wait.
have to go to prison. You'd have gone there a long time ago. It might have brought you to your senses. You're my own son, but I'm disgusted with you. Go on, get out.
You can't send me away.
Can't I? There's the door now. Now, go on, get out.
Oh, no, you don't.
Take your hands off me, you young rascal. Your mother.
Give me that money, will
You're
you?
mad. You're choking me.
George, what have you done?
He's dead.
Stop that
Dalton, apparently unimpressed by the enormity of his crime, left the murdered couple lying where they had fallen while he searched the house for money. He found just over £30 of his parents' savings. He drove the car into the garage, put his victims in the back, and covered them once again with a traveling rug. Then, as he cleaned the house and locked up after himself, as darkness fell, he drove to the nearest bridge over a railway. It was the same method as before. And when it was over, the murderer drove back to his lover in Brighton. But when he arrived, she had grim news for him.
George, tell me you didn't do it.
What? What are you talking about?
Your mum and dad.
Ah, you're mad. You don't know what you're saying.
Come into the other room, quickly.
Brenda, what do you know about my mother and father? Now, tell me.
So you did do it?
No.
I know you did it. But why? How could you?
Brenda.
And don't touch me.
Mr. Dalton, is it?
Yeah? What do you want?
I'm sorry to have to tell you that your mother and father were found dead an hour ago.
I didn't do it.
What exactly do you mean by that?
How dreadful. I don't believe it.
You know how they died?
Of course I don't. How could I?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Could you give me an account of your movements today?
Yeah. I spent the day here with my fiancée.
You haven't used the car outside?
Oh, we drove to New Haven.
That's 8 3/4 miles. 17.5 there and back. You haven't been anywhere else?
No.
The car's been here all the time?
Yes.
According to the garage people, you had the car serviced this morning.
Yeah?
The speedometer reading then, according to the service card, was 15,001. You've put on over 100 miles since then. I've just checked the clock on my way in.
The girl knows I've been with her all day.
Oh, George, what's the good of you lying?
The speedometer's in order. That can't lie. I'm afraid that in the circumstances, it's my duty to charge you with the murder of...
Stop him! Let me go!
So George Dalton was arrested and charged with the murder of his parents, within an hour of their bodies being discovered on a railway line 50 miles away. In due course, he was convicted, and at 8 o'clock on a cold, misty morning, he mounted the steps of the scaffold.
And he told you, Inspector, he hadn't been on a long journey.
He'd forgotten the speedometer reading on the service card. They all overlook something.
And that is why the service card has earned its place here in the Black Museum. You may be wondering how George Dalton was traced so quickly. When his parents' bodies were discovered, the police immediately went to the Dalton residence, expecting to find the son. Both the son and the car were, of course, missing. It was the work of a few minutes to trace the make and number of the vehicle, and a general alert was put out all over the country. Police officers visited garages, and the telltale service card localized the search to the Brighton area, where Dalton's name was recognized in the hotel. The girlfriend was questioned while George Dalton was already being tailed by a police car into the hotel forecourt. At this stage, of course, there was no evidence against him, but the police allowed him to get into the hotel before questioning him. So they proved the theory that by giving a criminal just enough rope, he'll surely hang himself, which is what Dalton did, with the aid of the buff-colored service card, which has earned its honored place here in the Black Museum. Now, until we meet next time in the same place, and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, I remain, as always, obediently yours. This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a flower pot, a coffee cup, a curtain rod, all are touched by murder. Here's a shilling. This is a familiar object, a shilling. It's a coin of the realm. So much silver alloyed with harder metals for purposes of wear, milled-edged, engraved with the face of a British sovereign. Very familiar object indeed.
It's a lucky piece, all right, Inspector.
Lucky for you, Bob.
That's just what I mean, Jack.
Shillings don't buy much these days. But this one bought plenty. Now, the Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Well, here we are, in the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's Museum of Murder. Here's a small radio. Made for entertainment, for obtaining all the sounds that reach out through the ether to your ear. Sing for joy, for pleasure, but note the little wires protruding here, connected to the switch that turned this little sound box on. The man turned that knob, as was his habit. The little extra wires conducted current to an explosive. The man died. Later, he was followed to death by his murderer. Ah, yes, here we are. Here's the shilling, subject of our story. It's untarnished still, gleaming silver. Without a doubt, it passed through many hands, reposed in pockets and purses. And then one day, a telephone rings. So many things are heralded by that sound. This one rings in an office in the yard. Two men interrupt a desultory conversation. One of them picks up the instrument.
Inspector Graves' office. For you, Inspector.
Thank you, Sergeant.
The inspector listens briefly, acknowledges the message, hangs up the telephone.
Well.
Trouble, sir?
Not yet. Just an interesting bit of information. Remember Joey Bart?
Dartmoor, isn't he?
Not after tonight.
Oh, is it that long since we sent him away?
Time off for good behavior. He gets out in the morning.
Wonder if Brother Davy knows.
The same idea crossed my mind. How do you suppose it feels, Sergeant? To know your brother is getting out. When you've taken over his business, bar, band, and bottle club, and your brother believes you framed him into Dartmoor.
There's a word for it, sir. Uncomfortable.
That, of course, is an understatement, particularly when it's well known both to the underworld of London and to the police that Brother Joey has sworn to get Brother Davy as soon as such action is possible. Now, obviously, no self-respecting police force appreciates murder. Follows then that certain precautions must be taken.
Sergeant, will you arrange for a 24-hour detail to stay with Brother Joey from the moment he leaves the hospitality of Dartmoor tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
And advise the station house, which covers Brother Davy's rather disreputable club, that Davy is expecting company.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather like to be there, when Joey tells his brother he wants the club back, and in a share of the earnings of these past 6 years.
Yes, it must have been quite a meeting. Took place, of course. No question about that. In fact, no attempt was made to prevent it. The police knew when it happened. They knew exactly when Joey Bart walked past the uniformed doorman into the nightclub in question. They so reported to Inspector Graves. It was some 45 minutes later that his telephone rang once more.
Inspector Graves' office.
Detective Smythe here. The inspector available?
Just a moment. Smythe, Inspector. He's on the Bart matter.
I'll take it. Yes, Miles?
I'm in Davy Bart's office at the club, Inspector. He's dead.
Where's Jerry?
Gone, sir. We saw him go in. We didn't see him get out.
No, a self-respecting police force does not appreciate murder. When the murder is committed while policemen are on watch outside the scene of the crime, it is appreciated even less, if possible. Therefore, action is required.
General alarm for Joey Bart. Description is available.
Yes, sir.
Close that club and hold the customers and staff until I get there. Let's go, Sergeant.
All the resources of a great police department spring to life. And soon the inspector and Sergeant Maxwell are at the scene, viewing the body of Davy Bart through the hole in its chest.
Yes, that's Bart, all right. All right, Smythe. Let's have it.
Well, that's just the way we found him, sir. Sprawled like that. Gun near him. Nothing's been touched except to check for fingerprints.
Pictures been taken?
Yes, sir.
Coroner been here?
Yes, sir.
All right, take him away. Sergeant.
Very good, sir.
Prints on the gun?
Only the dead man's. Just the one set. They're his.
Medical report?
Shot at close range. Powder burns. It's a .38 automatic.
I can see that. Anything else?
Well, there's a wall safe. It was searched.
What's this?
It's a shilling, sir.
What's it doing here?
It was lying there on the desk when we got in, sir. The lights were on, and it was shining in the lamp.
Quite clear, wasn't it? A killing. An ex-convict disappeared, open and shut, simple. Still, the evidence must be collected with a view toward the eventual trial.
You're George Lyons.
Yes, sir?
You have a record.
Well, I went away once. 3 months. Attempted robbery.
Since then?
I worked for Mr. Bart.
Doing what?
Oh, sort of his assistant.
Yes, I know what you mean. All right. What happened here tonight?
Well, Joey came here, and the boss told me to let him in. Joey told the boss he needed money. The boss said he didn't have any. They started to argue. That was when the boss told me to wait outside, and I did.
Hear anything?
Oh, the place is soundproof, Inspector. The nearest thing.
Why did you come back inside?
I took a chance. Seemed like an awful long time when Joey didn't come out. I found him. The boss, I mean.
What do you know about this?
Hey, that's the boss's lucky piece. When Joey asked for money, the boss took it out of his pocket and told him it was all the money he had on him. That's when Joey said, I ought to kill you for that. Only your life ain't worth a shilling.
Build a case. Interview the employees. First the doorman.
Well, I was kind of surprised, Inspector, but Mr. Bart said let Joey in the club when he showed up.
Why?
Well, everybody knows, sir. Joey thought Mr. Bart framed him to get the club away from him.
So you let him in?
So I let him in.
See him leave?
No, sir. He must have gone out the back way, through that door. It leads out to the kitchen and the dressing rooms. There's a rear exit, sir, out in the alley behind.
Now it's the turn of the kitchen help. The man in the best position to notice anything is the second cook.
Yes, sir. That's my position, opposite the door.
Did you see anyone go by tonight?
Only waiters. And the girl in the show.
The girl in the show?
Yes, she has a dressing room in the hall. She sings.
Her name?
Miss Fair. Mitzi Fair.
Get the girl, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
You at your station all evening?
The chef, he called me over to taste his dressing. Only once. All the rest of the time,
Yes, well, you must have missed anyone who went through the hall during that time.
Well, it was only a minute or two.
Yeah, it would be enough. All right, leave a name and address for the constable on duty.
The henchman, Lyons, saw and heard nothing. The doorman was too far away. The kitchen help were too busy. Still, everyone seemed to have known that Joey Bart was there that night. Everyone, including the girl in the show.
You sing in the floor show, Miss Fair, is that it?
Well, I am the show, you might say. Or was.
Yes, was. The club is closed. You'll need another job.
Thanks for the 2 weeks' notice.
We can do without that. What do you mean, I am the show?
Well, I sing for the piano. When the band rests. There's no line, no comics. This place is too small.
I see. What's your background, Miss Fair?
It was the usual shabby story, the early ambitions, the voice that failed to make the big time, the small jobs to make a living, and the eternal hope for the break. Then the steady work in the club.
Any particular reason why Dave Bart kept you here so long?
If you mean what I think you mean, there was nothing like that.
Did you know his brother?
Well, only here. Davy talk about him. I came here after Davy took over.
Your dressing room is out there, off the hall.
If you can call a 6x8 rat trap a dressing room, yes.
Seeing a stranger tonight?
Not tonight.
Other nights?
Maybe. Maybe not. And if I had, I'd know better than to talk, Inspector. Davy operated within the law, as far as I know. But I've been around, Inspector. And if I knew anything, chances are my life wouldn't be worth that shilling.
Never see it before?
Looks like any other to me.
I'm told it was Davy Bart's lucky piece.
Was it? Well, I wouldn't know. With me, a shilling's a shilling, and they don't come my way easy.
But today, the shilling can be found in the Black Museum.
In just a moment, we will continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Inspector Graves waited in his office at Scotland Yard for the report he knew was inevitable, that Joey Bart had been run to earth. This was routine. Meanwhile, he sifted facts with Sergeant Maxwell.
Nothing to it, Inspector. It's Joey. It couldn't be anyone else. Say that in court, and a smart lawyer will prove it could have been any one of a dozen people. Reasonable doubt, that's all.
But Joey said he'd get his brother once he got out.
That's not evidence, and you know it, Sergeant.
There's plenty of evidence of the gun, for instance.
Davy's gun, registered with only Davy's prints on it.
The doorman saw him go in. Lyons was there at the beginning of the fight. The open safe.
With nothing stolen. At least plenty of money in it, and Joey came for money.
He left by the back way.
Well, no one saw him. No one saw him go out. They could have missed someone else coming in. Our case is full of holes, Sergeant. It's not the kind I want to go into.
You see, it's one thing to be certain in your own mind that someone committed murder. It's another thing to prove it in court. where your facts are subject to attack by lawyers, subject to the workings of 12 minds in a jury box, subject to the judge's interpretation of reasonable doubt. The inspector knew this. The telephone again. Perhaps this time.
Graves speaking.
Smythe here, Inspector. We found Bart. He's holed up in a tenement in the East End, 409 Ellison. One of those places cut up into one-room flatlets. He's in the third floor rear.
Set the cordon, Smythe. Seal the place. Don't go in until I get there.
The quarry run to earth, his hole sealed, front and rear, by the cordon of police. The inspector arrives.
All under control, Smythe?
Yes, sir. He won't get out the back way this time.
Good enough. Let's go in.
A small, tight group gathers around the inspector. Smith, Maxwell, several uniformed constables, all are armed. They enter the ramshackle building, start up the rickety stairway. Somehow this place escaped the holocaust of Hitler's bomb. It's old, dirty, dangerous. The landings are illuminated by fitful light from flickering yellow electric bulbs in fixtures that once held gas burners. At the third landing, the group stops. Splits up. Each man takes his station, one to each side of the doorway. The officer with a gun in position to shoot off the lock on the scaly door. The inspector with Sergeant Maxwell and Detective Smith facing the doorway.
Here it goes.
Who is it?
You know who it is, Bart. Police. Open up.
Come in, gentlemen. Come in.
Check him over, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. No, nothing on him, Inspector. No weapon.
Very well.
I could have told you that. No guns for me, Inspector. I'm glad you got here first, though. I thought maybe it was some of Davy's boys with the same idea you have. But I didn't kill him. Not much sense killing the goose with the golden eggs, is there, Inspector?
They took him to the yard. Held for questioning, the record said. The questioning was sharp and to the point.
What did you get from your brother?
£100 to start.
That was all?
Oh, he argued first, but I got good and sore. Told him his life wasn't worth the shilling he threw at me.
We know about that.
Yeah, Georgia Lyons was still there. After that, Dave threw him out. Then I told Dave I could prove he'd framed me. He acted like he believed me. Told me I'd be a fool to take the club back after the way he'd built it up. Said he'd cut me in for plenty. He went to the wall safe, took out £100 and gave it to me as a down payment, sort of. Of course I took it. I took a shilling, too. Told him he'd get his luck back when I figured he was going to be a regular on the payoff.
You took his shilling?
Yeah, here. That's it. He had it since he was a kid. See that nick in it? He got that putting it on a railroad truck so as the train could run over it.
Sergeant, bring Lyons and the fair girl down here.
Yes, sir.
You see anybody in that back hall, Bart?
Nobody. Dave said to go out that way, and I did. I wanted a little privacy, you see. Your boys were with me all the way to the club from Dartmoor.
You hear anything in that hall?
Only the pans in the kitchen. Now, look, Inspector, I didn't kill him. Why should I? He was paying off. Nobody kills a guy who pays.
Maybe. Maybe not. Outside, Bart, and wait there. I'll see you again later.
An accommodating ex-convict, to say the least, and willing to talk his head off. The inspector was puzzled. This was not part of the usual pattern. The puzzle seemed deeper when Mitzi Fair told him.
That Shilling? No, that's not Davies. Davies was the one on the desk. I watched him play with it lots of times.
You're certain of that?
I'm sure. Positive.
And the puzzle seemed deeper still when George Lyons said.
Yeah, I remember now. That nick in the shilling. Hey, Inspector, if Joey had this shilling with him, who put the other one on the desk?
Know something, Lyons? The answer to that question could be very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
A whole new avenue of inquiry suddenly opened up. Suddenly became possible that Joey Bart had not been the last person to see his brother alive.
It's a matter of who is telling the truth about those coins, Sergeant. If Lyons and Bart are, then the girl is lying. If the girl is honest, then Lyons and Bart are both lying.
Well, how do we find out, Inspector?
We take our time. And we let Joey go, for the time being. With a continuous watch on him, of course. Arrange for it, will you, Sergeant? I want a little quiet. I've got some thinking to do.
The inspector had his peace and quiet briefly. Shortly thereafter, he adjourned to the Padlock nightclub with Sergeant Maxwell and Detective Smith.
I saw him to provide wall-to-wall carpeting. I hate tearing up floorboards.
Well, it helps for soundproofing. How are you coming along the wall, Smith?
Nothing hollow. Soundproof tiling under all the draperies.
Hello, here's something. Back of the couch, Inspector.
Bobby pin, blonde.
The singer's a blonde.
Too bad she's not the only blonde in London. If she were, we'd have to prove she dropped it after Jerry left this office.
Nothing doing on the walls, Inspector. Next?
The desk. Take it apart if necessary.
Yes, sir.
Dave Bart looked too honest, Sergeant. There's a reason for soundproof offices. And if there's any record of that reason, it'll be here, someplace.
Well, the girl said something about visitors, backdoor visitors.
I know she did.
Hello. Here's something. False bottom to this drawer. It measures 6 inches deep on the outside and only 4.5 on the inside.
Sliding panel?
Probably. Sounds hollow enough. Here it is. The bottom slides back when you press this nail head. A couple of letters here. The record book.
Good work, Smith. Well, Mr. Bart was methodical. Record of payments to the witnesses who swore his brother into prison. Income from various enterprises. Letters. Well.
Enough there on the girl to keep her working for free the rest of her life.
To say the least.
Then it's the girl, Inspector.
Or Jerry. Or both. Or neither.
Lyons?
There's a great deal on him, too. His 90-day sentence seems to have covered up a small item which could have meant 10 years. Apparently, several people were interested in the sudden death of Mr. Dave Bart. Shut the drawer, Smith. Leave everything as it was, except for the papers. We'll take those. And as we leave, Sergeant, suppose you forget to snap the lock on the front door. Understand, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
It was neat and simple. The bait, of course, was the contents of the drawer. 3 people were interested in what it contained. Given an open padlock, the opportunity to search, the magnet, which was the letters and records in that desk, should draw at least one person back to the room where someone had killed Dave Bart and left a shilling on the desk. The inspector waited. With him, Sergeant Maxwell and Detective Smith. A dozen assorted detectives and constables. They waited in the silent, darkened nightclub behind the door with its open padlock. They waited in the dark hallway near the kitchen, among the piled-up tables and chairs in the main room. They waited in the echoing, empty club. Waited for the sounds they knew would come. Sounds which did come when the safety of night shrouded the street outside.
The door, Inspector.
I heard it, Sergeant.
Crouched in the darkness, they heard the footsteps. Light, tentative. Then bolder, more confident, as eyes became accustomed to the gloom. A moment later...
Another one, sir.
Quiet, Sergeant.
The first intruder was aware of the second. More quickly now, the footsteps came into the main room of the club, crossed the dance floor. Suddenly, the second person broke into a run, caught up to the first.
Thought you'd come back, eh? Tried to put it on me, did you, with a second shilling? You listened outside the door, didn't you? Back when I came through.
All right, Smith. The lights.
What's all this?
All right, Bart. Miss Fair, we'll take over now.
Smart coppers, eh? Sitting in the dark, waiting, eh?
Take him over, Sergeant. Take him over.
I told you once, Inspector, no guns from me. She's got one, though, in her bag. Try to sock me with it.
Well, Miss Fair, why did you plant that second shilling?
I knew George was in there. But Joe made this crack about the shilling. I went in after Joe had left. I wanted my lesson. David made me miserable enough with him, and we argued. And he tried to threaten me with his gun. I grabbed for it, and it went off. I thought if there was a shilling, you'd think it was Joey.
Yeah, a woman. Every time it's a woman.
Never mind, Bart. You can tell that to your friends. Miss Fair, you're taken in charge. And the charge is murder.
And today, the shilling, which was the main clue in this case, can be seen in an honored position in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Orson Welles.
There was no premeditation, that was clear. And certainly there was provocation. Mitzi Fair went away, convicted of manslaughter. Joey Bart eventually reopened the club, which had been his property in the first place. Seems to be going straight. Only time and the careful eye of the Metropolitan Police will know about that. Meanwhile, the Shilling, contributed by Joey Bart, remains in its customary place in Scotland Yard in the Black Museum. Until next time, we meet in the same place for another story about the Black Museum. I remain, as always, obediently yours.
The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles, is presented by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Radio Attraction. The program is written by Ara Marion, with original music composed and conducted by Sidney Torch. Produced by Harry Allen Towers.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum, a repository of death, a repertorium of violence. Here in a grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a briefcase, a medicine bottle, a carpenter's rule, all are touched by murder. Now, this old-fashioned trunk is a familiar object, brass-bound, well-made in its previous generation kind of way. Perhaps you've one like it in the attic of the storeroom. Perhaps you've traveled with it at one time. Even checked it at the luggage room.
Maybe this one. A little, I suppose. There you are, sir. Your receipt. We'll watch over your trunk, sir. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Well, today, that trunk can be found in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Here we are, the Black Museum. Scotland Yard's mausoleum of murder. Not particularly well lit. The vaulted ceiling disappears in shadows, but ghosts like shadows. The vast majority of the people who use the articles exhibited here are ghosts by the verdict of 12 of their fellow countrymen and sentenced by His Majesty's judges and the assistance of the execution. Here lies death. All along the walls, on the tables, even on the floor. Each article feels encrusted with horror, webbed in the memory of homicide. Some for more than a century. Here, on this shelf. Common object, a gasoline can. About a gallon. But the contents were poured over a human body and a match was lighted. Only the man who poured that horrific libation left his fingerprints on the tin. There we are. There's the trunk. It's easily handled. It's empty now. But once upon a time... Oh, yes, this is the tale. For all intents and purposes, it begins in Charing Cross Station in London, with a porter who noticed someone drop a bit of paper in the hurrying crowd.
Here, Davy. Fella dropped this. I tried to catch him. No luck.
Too bad. He meant to throw this away, though. You'd have had nothing from him for your trouble.
How do you mean he meant to throw it away?
Well, crumpled into a little ball, isn't it? All crinkled like it is.
Yeah, that's true enough. Here, but look at your timestamp. He checked that trunk in with you 10 minutes ago. See?
Yeah, you're right about that. 10 minutes ago.
If the paper had been dropped in a waste can, if the obliging porter hadn't seen it fall, if there'd been no time stamped on it.
What do you do in cases like this, mate?
Well, just wait a bit and then notify the police.
Well, why wait a bit?
Yes, wait a bit. Indeed.
Just to be certain that the fellow who threw the receipt away meant to do it.
I'm a cautious fellow, a checkroom attendant. After 3 days, I wanted to ask about the trunk. He didn't call the local police station. No, not he. He placed his call to Scotland Yard. Inspector Walsh dropped by to have a look at the trunk.
It is heavy, isn't it? Of course, it might be just books. Any time, then, Inspector.
Yes, it might be just books.
Ready? Open. Oh, just old newspapers, it looks like. Oh.
Sorry to startle you. A dissected body isn't a very pretty sight when you're not used to it.
Another dramatic incident in the life of Harry Lime unfolds this Thursday evening at 9:30 on KUOW. Orson Welles stars as the adventurous rogue Harry Lime in each exciting episode of the series. For suspense and drama, join us Thursday evenings at 9:30 for The Lives of Harry Lime.
The trunk was removed to Scotland Yard. Its contents, once human, were turned over to the yard pathologist. The remainder of the contents were left in the possession of Inspector Walsh.
We're in for it, Sergeant. Again. Body, unidentified. Trunk, unidentified. Owner, unidentified.
Well, at least we have a few items to start with this time, sir.
Yes, of course. Some old newspapers, torn, stained, and so on. An old smock, stained in the same way. Some scraps of clothing. And the trunk.
Well, where do we begin, sir?
Save the papers, have the clothing laundered after the stains have been analyzed, then check the laundry marks. On the trunk itself, write up a description of it.
Then start the local police into every second-hand dealer, luggage shop, and pawn shop in London. Someone, somewhere, may remember it. After all, it is a trifle large, you know, and it had to be brought to the station. Circulate the description through all the means of transportation. Taxicabs, buses, vans, you know, Sergeant. Routine, we've been through all this before.
Routine. Start with a few scraps of clothing, some poor human flesh, a brass-bound trunk. Cast the nets. See what it catches. Throw out the line, see where they lead. One line led to a second-hand dealer in Brixton.
I remembered it as soon as I saw the write-up, Inspector. Picked it up in an odd lot some time ago.
Good of you to come in, sir. You're certain it's the same trunk you sold?
Yes, sir. Funny about that label, though.
Oh?
Yes, sir. That's a fresh label. The one I saw, and it was old. Dirty.
Oh. F. Matson, St. Leonard's. Let's see now. There's your old label, underneath a new one.
Same address, sir?
Yes, but the old one was spelled correctly. Notice? Leonard's. Leonards. The new one is Leonard's. Lenards. No O.
Stands to reason the fellow who bought it didn't live in St. Leonard's. He'd know how to spell it if he lived there.
Now, that's probably correct. Remember what he looked like?
The fellow who bought it? Husky, rather. Well-dressed. Very blondish. Straw hair, blue eyes. Almost white eyebrows. I noticed particularly his eyebrows. I knew a girl once with eyebrows like that. Very whitish. Interesting.
Yes, interesting. Description of a man, but the man who killed the woman in the trunk? That was one of many questions. Among them, of course, who was the woman in the trunk?
We've traced the laundry marks on the clothing, Inspector. Family named Hilton in Shepherd's Bush.
Mrs. Hilton came to Scotland Yard.
We're very sorry to have to ask you to do this, Mrs. Hilton, but you may be able to help us.
So this is what a morgue looks like, Inspector.
Yes, more antiseptic than anything else. We'll make this as easy as possible. She's in here.
All right. Yes, I know. I knew her.
All right, Sergeant.
Her name was Brady. She worked for me as a cook, temporarily. Came through an employment agency. I can give you the address.
The net was working. The lines were developing. Police routine, the Scotland Yard thoroughness was beginning to pay off.
The woman's name was not Brady. At the address the employment agency gave me, she was known as Burnside. She's been missing since March the 4th.
More muddy waters? Or another link? A woman with an alias, missing but unreported, inexorably. The wheels grind on, turning up, among other matters, a cooperative cab driver.
You're positive this was the trunk?
Positive, Governor.
Where did you get the call?
In Ravenswood Row it was. That line of old houses they've made offices out of. From the road to Charing Cross Station it was.
Do you remember the man himself?
He had his hat pulled down, sort of. But he was a husky one. I remember thinking he had to be to get that trunk as far as the sidewalk on his own. And his hair, what I could see of it, was lightish. Well, I hope I've been a help, Inspector. If I do remember anything more.
Oh, yes, it was a help. So was the bus conductor who remembered letting the husky blonde man board his bus with his trunk, light and empty at the time, in Brixton, near the second-hand dealers. And piece by piece, the jigsaw puzzle was filling in.
Patience, Sergeant. We know who the dead woman was. We have a description of a man with a trunk. We've traced the trunk from Brixton to Ravenswood Row, and from there to Charing Cross. Now, a house-to-house inquiry in Ravenswood. Be thorough, Sergeant. Very thorough.
And, of course, the good Sergeant King was very thorough.
A clerk on the first floor of number 12, Inspector, noticed the trunk in the hallway on the 5th of March. It was gone on the 6th. The day the trunk was checked at the station. Yes, sir. Now, number 12 has 3 floors, a suite of offices on each floor. The second floor's closed up, no name on the door. Third floor has been occupied for some time. I have the name of the rental agent, Inspector.
Yes, Inspector. Number 12 is our building. We manage it from the state, that is. Here now. Yes. Number 12, Ravenswood Row. The lessee is F. Lawrence Maxwell. Business, factoring. The red tab on the card, that means pays by mail regularly.
Then you've never seen Mr. Maxwell?
No, one of our outside men showed him the premises. Would you be interested in his home address?
Yes, I would.
According to our records, he lives at 210 Merivale East in Camberwell.
At last, a shadowy figure begins to emerge into the light. F. Lawrence Maxwell, 210 Merivale East, Camberwell. At that address, Inspector Walsh asked,
"Is Mr. Maxwell at home?"
And the landlady answered,
Mr. Maxwell? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. He moved out and left no forwarding address. That was the evening of March the 6th. I remember it distinctly, sir, because he paid the whole month and didn't ask for a refund.
a blank. The end of the line. Not a trace. But don't forget, that brass-bound trunk is today one of the star exhibits in the Black Museum.
Each Sunday afternoon at 4, KUOW brings drama back to radio with Theater of the Air. Each week...
The net so painstakingly woven, the lines so carefully cast, all led to nothing. A trunk, a dismembered body, a dozen people all trying to help, nothing. Was this going to be one of the mementos in the Black Museum marked Case Unsolved? Inspector Walsh waited. F. Lawrence Maxwell was somewhere. And living people rarely, if ever, move through life without a trace.
My, you gentlemen came all the way from Camberwell in hurry.
We went through a red light or two, I dare say. Didn't we, Sergeant?
We did that, sir.
This letter you telephoned about, ma'am.
Oh, right here, Inspector. Kept it careful. Always try to help the authorities when I can. Yes, sir.
Ah. From the post office.
Do we open it, sir?
I think we do.
Oh, dear. Nothing but a notice. Undelivered telegram.
Yes, to Maxwell, Red Dog Inn, Hammersmith.
Funny. Sending a telegram to himself in Hammersmith?
Oh, that wouldn't be to himself. It would be to his wife. Mr. Maxwell told me once she has a position in Hammersmith.
A wife. Well. Was she still in Hammersmith at the Red Dog Inn? She was. And so was F. Lawrence Maxwell.
I'll be glad to help in any way I can, Inspector.
Any further details of your movements on March the 6th? To the best of your recollection, that is?
No, I'm sorry. I may have left out a detail or two. It was a sudden decision. I mean, to give up the office. The business fell off to the point where an office was a needless expense. As I rented on a month-to-month basis, well, I just gave it up. I do remember noticing the old trunk in the hallway, though. Quite a museum piece with all the brass trimmings, as I remember it.
Well, most cooperative gentlemen, most helpful, is F. Lawrence Maxwell. He even saw the trunk in the hallway. But on the inspector's next line of questioning, Mr. Maxwell was not quite so helpful.
No, I'm sorry, Inspector. I've never known a woman named Burnside in my life. Nor Brady, for that matter.
Any other name? Beginning with B, perhaps?
Let me see. No, nary one.
Well, you've been very helpful, Mr. Maxwell.
Nothing like the truth to prove innocence, is there?
With that in mind, I wonder if you'd stretch your cooperation a bit further.
Anything I can do.
We have two witnesses who saw the man with the trunk closely enough to attempt identification. Both of them described a man of your coloring. I wonder if you'd let them have a look at you.
Well, I'd rather not be identified by mistake, Inspector.
I understand that.
Isn't it usual to have several men of similar appearance present? I mean, I've seen such things in the cinema.
Of course. In view of your willingness to assist us, we'll be glad to oblige you on that score.
Decent of the inspector, don't you think? Decent at Maxwell, too. They worked well together. And within a few hours, Maxwell stood in a line of 5 men, all of them approximately his build and blondness. Maxwell was second from the left. The taxi driver entered the room.
I'm none too certain, Inspector. My man had his hat pulled down. If it were any of these, I'd say he was the middle one, sir.
Then the second-hand dealer entered the room.
I wouldn't want to make trouble for the wrong man, Inspector.
Of course not. Now look him over carefully now.
I'd say, yes, the fellow on the extreme right.
Thank you. Sorry to have taken you from your business this time of day. And thank you, gentlemen.
Will you want me for anything else, Inspector?
Thank you, no, Mr. Maxwell, not for the present.
Another blank. Nothing. No one to place their Florence Maxwell anywhere near that trunk, or its contents beyond the casual contact he himself admitted. Mr. Maxwell went back to Hammersmith. Inspector Walsh went back to work.
Sergeant, I want that trunk cleaned out thoroughly now. Piece those torn newspapers together. Have the smock the head was wrapped in given to the laboratory for every possible test. There's got to be something somewhere.
Nothing out of the ordinary in the newspapers, Inspector. But the physical test laboratory reports that under ultraviolet light, the smock shows lettering that was printed on the material but washed out with constant laundering.
And that lettering, Sergeant?
Red Dog Inn, Hammersmith.
Now, Sergeant, all we have to do is to connect that Brady Burnside woman with number 12 Ravenswood Row, second floor. Let's go, Sergeant. I've had a search warrant ready for a week.
Now they went to work on 12 Ravenswood Road, second floor. Nice. Board by board, the flooring was taken out, the old-fashioned tin ceiling was taken down, the desks and chairs were taken apart, paneling was removed, and plaster walls sounded. Samples of dust were analyzed. Powerful vacuum cleaners sucked every bit of lint from the upholstery and draperies. And when it was all over,
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Unless this hairpin is something, sir.
Oh, that could be anyone's. Proves nothing. Is there an ashtray around here anywhere, Sergeant?
Yes, under the desk, sir, there's a wastebasket. Metal one. Maxwell doesn't smoke.
Yes, I remember that. Oh, well. Hello. Give me a tweezer, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. You found something, sir?
Interesting. Maxwell doesn't smoke. So we find an unused match caught in the corner of his wastebasket, with a red-brown stain on one end of it.
Yes, of course it was blood. And the same type as the victims. But the fact remains, as the inspector put it,
a clever defense counsel could make a hash of the case. Millions of people right in London have this blood type, and we still haven't established any contact whatsoever between Maxwell and the woman.
A jigsaw puzzle. All of it save the key piece. Inspector Walsh made a decision the next morning, quite early, in Hammersmith.
All right, Mr. Maxwell. I'm sorry to disturb you this early.
You, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. There have been developments. We need you at the yard.
Developments? What kind?
Sorry, sir. I've not been told. Now, if you'll get dressed and come along, sir, I have a car waiting. It's early, I know, sir, but we don't keep regular hours at the yard.
They don't keep hours, but they kept Maxwell waiting in the quiet anteroom outside Inspector Walsh's office. For an hour and a half, Maxwell cooled his heels while detectives passed him by, went into and came out of the inspector's office. At long last, Sergeant King came to the door.
All right, Mr. Maxwell. The inspector will see you now.
And about time, I say.
Good morning, Mr. Maxwell. Sorry to have kept you waiting after rousing you so early. All right, Sergeant, you can leave us together.
Yes, sir.
Sit down, Mr. Maxwell.
Yes, and without further ado, I'd like some explanation about all this. You said you were through with me.
We were, but there have been developments, new clues, all that sort of thing.
No?
We thought you'd be interested. Oh, excuse me a moment, won't you? Yes?
You pushed the buzzer, Inspector. I asked the desk man to ring through.
Yes, sir. I'll be right up. At once, sir. Superintendent Bivens wants you, Mr. Maxwell. But I won't be long. Don't try to get out through that window. The view is good, but there's a 60-foot drop to the river. Be back in a bit.
I must say, Inspector, this is all rather...
Time ticked away, marked by the clock on the office wall. And F. Florence Maxwell was alone. Alone with 1,000 unanswered questions. And his own fears.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Walking up and down, back and forth like some kind of caged beast. He can't know anything. He couldn't get me identified. Have they tied me to Louise? How could they? I destroyed every one of her letters. I never wrote to her. She thought she had me. She got what was coming to her. Right in the office. She dared to come to the office. Did they find anything in the office?
In the office, Mr. Maxwell? Yes. They found a hairpin and a matchstick with blood on it. But you don't know that, do you? You haven't been told. What could they find in the office?
When I took her to pieces, I did it in the trunk. They can't have anything. There must be something. Well, there's got to be the inspector in Scotland Yard holding me here. If I deny everything, it'll look bad. Very bad. Oh, I've been here. Where's the clock? Yes, almost a half hour. I'll have a story. That's it. I'll have a story. I'll be ready for it. I'll have a story.
Now you've done it, Mr. Maxwell. So you'll have a story, will you? You better be good, Mr. Maxwell. It had better be good.
Well, Mr. Maxwell, I'm back.
Inspector!
Yes?
I want to tell you, sir, I've been holding back. I knew Mrs. Burnside.
I see. You knew her?
Yes, quite well. How doesn't matter. She tried to blackmail me, you see. She came to my office. When I refused to pay her 1 shilling, she flew at me. I hit her and, well, she fell.
Where did you hit her?
The left side of her face. She fell and struck her head. When I bent over her, she was dead. So I left her there. I came back. I must have been crazy expecting a dead woman to get up and walk. I was scared, you see. I bought the trunk. Well, you know the rest.
Very well, Mr. Maxwell. You're taken in charge for murder. I must warn you, anything you say may be taken down in writing and used as evidence.
But it was an accident, not murder.
Sorry, Mr. Maxwell, but the medical evidence belies your story. Mrs. Burnside died of strangulation. You didn't hit her. You choked her to death.
So, that winds up the case of Mr. Maxwell. But if you're interested, you'll still find the brass-bound trunk in the place of honor in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
In the end, it was just routine, wasn't it? Methodical, hard-working routine based on experience, and plus just the touch of imagination a good policeman must always have. The trap was sprung in Wadsworth Prison, and the story ended 3 weeks later in the usual manner at the customary time. 8 o'clock in the morning with the customary payment to the hangman. And the trunk remains in its customary place within Scotland Yard, the Black Museum. And I remain, as always, obediently yours.